Well, the governor's race in Virginia is being watched around the country as a test of President Trump's influence ahead of the midterms. Voters there go to the polls tomorrow to choose between Democratic Lieutenant Governor Ralph Northam and establishment Republican Ed Gillespie. While Gillespie has the president's endorsement, he's not invoking Mr. Trump's name or retweeting him. But he has adopted issues that helped Trump win, like crime, illegal immigration, and social issues like the national anthem controversy. If Gillespie wins in this purple state, or even loses by a narrow margin, that could signal to other establishment Republicans that seizing on those types of issues is the way to win. And a Fox News poll out today shows it's anybody's game right now. Neither candidate with a majority, and the numbers within the margin of error.
At it.
At it, yes. So, Charlie, you're a Virginian. You know Virginia very well. What's going to happen tomorrow?
Yeah, well, I'm always hesitant to predict these things, but I do think the fact that polls suggest that it's tied. Remember when he ran for Senate against Mark Warner, he was sort of dismissed at the end, and then he came within 1 point of winning. And had they, indicating, I think, that the polls are notoriously have a hard time registering support for Ed Gillespie. But when I knew things got really nasty, Democrats were really in trouble, was when they dropped that ad last week that showed with the pickup truck with the Ed Gillespie sticker running down minority children. It was the most despicable ad I've ever seen. But the fact that the Ralph Northam campaign would allow an ad like that to go out in support of him revealed to me that this thing is their internals show they are in deep trouble.
Well, they ended up pulling that ad, and now 10% of people say that they're undecided in terms of voting. But we were talking in the green room earlier, Kennedy, about how in Virginia it's difficult to campaign because you can't campaign against the federal government if you want to win Northern Virginia. So the big government there is a difficult thing for Republicans to grapple with when it comes to winning.
It's a really interesting state. And, but for a lot of people, it's all about the horse race. It's all about another one of these close races. And Democrats have sort of painted these as each one a referendum against the president. And if this doesn't work out for them, and even if it's close, but I would say that if Gillespie actually pulls off a win, that they have to come up with another strategy other than resist, because it really just isn't enough. And it's not like Northam is a big Bernie supporter. He's pretty centrist, and
he always has been.
Yeah,
but he's kind of gone off the reservation with this particular campaign. And the idea, there's a lot of history in Virginia, and the idea that he would made some comments supporting removing some of these statues and plaques and things like that. That's like a 70-30 issue in Virginia.
It's really interesting too, because that new Fox News polling showed that it was an issue, but it was low on the priority list of issues in that state. It's still the economy polled #1 issue, and health care. And then when Fox asked them about the monuments, 60% of them said, leave them up.
And it's a message to both parties. Get back to the issues. Get back to the economy. Get back to people working. Take care of people in the ways that you promised. And for government, that means getting out of the way. We'll see how they react. But again, I agree, this polling is notoriously fickle. And you've got such a big element of the population that has not decided that it's going to make tomorrow's race very exciting.
But, Charlie, what about the 2018 midterms? A lot of people are riding on this governor's race tomorrow, both Republicans and Democrats, to see how things are going to go here in a couple of months, and whether it's going to affect President Trump at the national level as well.
Well, I think that it's probably smart to be looking at these races, and I do think, I've always sort of felt like this idea that you're just going to run against Donald Trump, run on the resist movement. It's not you can't beat somebody with nothing. And that's what Democrats are trying to do, and they've lost a number of times already. And if they lose tomorrow with that same strategy, I think it'll just be devastating.
Well, we will anxiously await and be covering it right here on the Fox News channel.